Okay, I pretty much noticed everything that is mentioned in this video is really going on. I've noticed all of this. And let me know in the comments if you've noticed this too.
Answer this one question. When was the last time you met someone naturally? No dating apps, not online, but a genuine interaction in the real world. I'm guessing for most of you it was quite a while ago, but if you're in Generation Z, it possibly has never even happened. And that's not an accident. Most people we see these days are cashiers, co-workers, people rushing around, delivery drivers. People we pass by, not people we get to know. Interactions are often just transactions. Before dating apps turned relationships into a marketplace, the stage was already set years ago. Just think about an average day. You work from home alone, your groceries get delivered, you tap your phone to pay, no words exchanged. Self-checkout at the shops, takeaway dropped to your door by someone who doesn't make eye contact or maybe doesn't even speak the same language as you. It's so easy to go days without meaningful human interaction.
My dry cleaner is automated. You walk in, everything's a code, the door opens, there's no one there. You put in your clothes, even when you go to pick it up. No one, no interaction with anybody.
Interactions you do have are transactional unless you're one of the lucky few who finds a club, society, or just something to connect with people. And even then, it's probably shoved into a small corner of your routine. We live in a touchless society, and like anything, if you don't use it, you lose it. Intimacy, sex, and love are just no different. And unlimited access to adult content really capitalized on this moment. You just click, consume, and wrap things up, remove your sexual desire, and move on with your day. Super easy and truly the simplest exchange for pleasure imaginable, really.
It all feels kind of empty, right? Feels kind of empty.
But it's also shallow, takes away your drive, it's temporary satisfaction with diminishing returns. And like any addiction, you merely fill the gaps without addressing the root causes. And the brain is adapted to all of this. Dating apps started with a promise to breach a gap that most of their founders and investors had started. I mean, get this one of the Tinder CEOs left in 2022 and immediately launched Mino, an AI chatbot to fight loneliness. There's now a thriving loneliness economy that Silicon Valley.
So you create loneliness with your dating app. Like, understand this. If you meet someone on your dating app, they lose a subscriber. Think that through. They lose a subscriber. This guy makes a dating app, makes everybody lonely, and then creates this other app for people who are lonely. Does that business model sound familiar?
Valley talks about all the time. There are even venture capital companies that focus exclusively on this. We made a video about the entire loneliness economy before, as it's just the perfect vector for exploitation. Sell people the solution to the problem you helped create.
I talk about this all the time. We're all being manipulated into being alone, being contentious. Oh, all women are this way, all men are this way. And I do reaction videos, and a lot of them, the people they all sound, they're saying the same words. They're moving their hands the same way. It doesn't always feel real. They're doing everything the same. Do you really feel that way? You really don't feel this way. You're really not so anti-women or anti-men. You're really not. They make a lot of money off of you if you start thinking that way. They really do. It says, he's saying it right here. There's a whole economy. They're not dumb. They're smart. They realize the less fulfilled you're feeling, the more you're going to want to get material stuff, the more things you're going to subscribe to try to alleviate that loneliness you're feeling.
It's the oldest trick in the book, but the impacts are totally new to us. And that's why they're doing so much damage. We're even inventing new language to deal with this. Remember that cringily soulless word "me cute" that people started using years ago? It popped up.
Yeah, it's called meeting someone. We used to call that meeting. And let me just, I have to say this because I have perspective that my age helps with. No one ever said it's difficult to meet people. I haven't heard that till recently. That's something these last 10 years. No one ever said it's difficult to meet people. You met them everywhere. This is before phones, cell phones. No one had earbuds. No one had that. You met people constantly. Oh, I can't meet someone. I can't find a girlfriend. No one ever said that. No one said that. You were constantly interacting with people, seeing them at the grocery store, seeing them at your brother's baseball game, seeing them here. There was always an activity, the school play, whatever. People weren't filming it. They were sitting next to you. They're like, oh, look at Sally. She's doing her dance up there. Yeah. Hey, it's good to see you, Bob. How's it going with business? You'd see him around. He's on his phone. Don't disturb him. You meet people all the time. It's amazing to think that we actually took that for granted, and that one day that would go away, completely go away. Realize how much the world has changed. It's gone away. Meeting people being easy is gone away. We have to get on apps to do that. We have to get on an app. There's a loneliness epidemic. Really, we should all be stopping what we're doing, meeting with our legislative people, and finding a way out of this immediately. We have to do something about this. I have trouble meeting people. What? Okay, stop the buses, stop the trains, stop movie development, stop everything. Let's fix this. It's important. No one's having babies anymore. What? Men and women don't want to be in relationships with each other. What? How the heck did that happen? What? This is a national emergency. Yeah, our way of life has changed 100%. Oh, just keep going on with this? Okay. No, we got to do something about this.
On social media as a way to describe meeting someone that you exchange numbers with for a date. For example, at a coffee shop or a bookshop when looking for the same book. Just think about the fact that we actually developed a new word for the crazy phenomenon of just meeting someone organically. It should have set off alarm bells, right? It was an early sign that society was changing in a way that made meeting people in real life the exception and not the rule. It's no coincidence that the word started being used a lot around 2015, the same time dating apps blew up. And in the last decade, dating declined to the point where the majority of Generation Z today just don't know or really have any way to meet people.
50% of men aged 18 to 24 have never approached a woman in person in their life, and even a higher percentage, 18 to 30, haven't approached a woman in the last year.
In recent years, third spaces, meaning not your home, school, workplace, have just vanished. Think about the place that you grew up as an example. Pubs, bars, libraries, high street shops, how many are actually left today? And if any, how busy even are they? Since COVID, we just shuttle ourselves from home to work to the gym.
Think about this, and this is important what I'm going to say here. I have friends who have kids who are 17, 18, 19 years old. And over again, not just once or twice. That's a very unusual thing. No, when I'm interacting with them and I'm at a party with them or at some social function, they're telling me how their 19-year-old son, he's not dating. He's chosen not to date. He's 18. He doesn't feel like going out. He doesn't want to get their license, driver's license. They don't want to go out. He's not dating women. I tried to talk to him about it. You have to understand, at 18, the male sex drive is the strongest force of the universe. It's a tsunami. Me and my friends, when we were 18, that's all we talked about was girls. When's the school dance? Let's get together with some girls this weekend. Where are we going to go? Let's meet some girls. Let's go to the mall. Girls. There was even a Motley Crue song, girls. Yeah. All the videos on MTV were about that. Everything was that. Someone told me, they're not interested. They're not going to be dating. When I was 18, I'd be taking them to the hospital. That's serious stuff.
To the supermarket and home. You don't really just go to the village market. There is no real town, square or hall. You're not really bumping into anyone. Even a bit of small talk with someone at the bus stop just feels weird and awkward. Making eye contact with someone on public transport will get you a look that leaves you wondering if you're insane.
So much of what makes somebody good at dating is different now than it was 50 years ago.
You can see it in the way coffee shops have changed. Almost every cafe is bland, empty, just minimalist. Almost as if they're designed purely as a conveyor belt.
Yeah, I stopped passing notes in 4th grade. Now that's how you date as an adult. You pass notes on an electronic device like you're in fourth grade. And that's how you're judged to see if you're a good match and a good mate. Yeah. Wrap your head around that.
Of coffees and customers, getting us in and out as quickly as possible to extract the most amount of money they can. But can you remember the time when a stereotypical cafe was like this? With big sofas, comfy chairs, bringing people together to talk, and people just walking up to someone to say something without it being creepy. The show Friends was...
I have a coffee shop in my neighborhood that is based on this TV show, and the interior is just like that. Guess what? Everyone's got their earbuds in, and it's not like Friends. There'll be people in there talking, but mostly it's people ignoring each other in a public place. Why are you doing that?
was based on just reality in the 90s, and it's all part of a much wider pattern, one that's seemingly threatening humanity.
That this is actually a potentially existential crisis. Humans really do meet the qualification of an endangered species.
Because meeting people and building relationships is really the most important thing for human survival. It's often the key indicator in determining your lifespan. It's how we have replacement rates in just the population. But with this last decade and the disappearance of so many communal spaces where our parents and grandparents had opportunities to randomly meet new people, mixed with dating apps, has meant we're seeing a gap try to be filled that wasn't a natural one. This is a void created by the same economic forces that hollowed out our third space as chains and corporate landlords. The same forces that funded these apps promising to replace what was destroyed. And dating apps didn't discover a gap in the market, one was just torn open and then monetized. But it was a lie. That too was all about getting your money. Think about it, the whole idea of a dating app as a viable business is a paradox. If they actually help people into relationships, they would clearly lose business. One good match is two lost customers, so instead they design the apps to fail, and in doing so keep us hooked on using them. And in turn, what better way to keep an active user base than by having relationships designed to be short-term? This is your capacity to...
And it's not cheap. They're charging you a lot of money to feel lonely and irritated.
Fall in love, to build a family, to find meaning. All your data, all your most vulnerable desires is just slowly converted into swipes and push notifications so someone else can hit their quarterly growth targets. Your relationship is designed to not be long-term. It's why men make up 75% of Tinder users and women just 25%. Interestingly enough, the co-founder of the dating site OkCupid wrote a book revealing what actually happens behind the scenes of dating apps. Women, as you'd expect, receive an average of 4 to 5 messages a week, which even that seems unlikely to be this low. 90% of men received an average of 0 messages. Only at the extreme end of the attractiveness scale do the best looking...
What do you say, 95%? Oh.
Men receive around 1 to 2 messages.
But there's also a lot of men who are relying on dating apps who are never going to get the matches that they desire, either because they are short or because they are bald.
So, as many of us already know, if you're not in the top 10%, there's really no point in using them. It's something that's called mate suppression in practice, and we'll get into that more soon.
And the reality is, for 95% of guys, online and dating apps aren't going to be a fruitful place for them to meet women.
But what we're seeing right now is that Generation Z's entire prospect of finding love is based on the ELO rating system, a numerical method developed to rank players in games like chess. A player score determines how strong or weak they are in relation to others. So your ability to find love is seemingly literally being run through the same maths we use to decide who's good at chess or League of Legends. It's why whenever you join these apps, you get tons of matches, then suddenly they just fade away. You'll be told this is a personal failure, but oftentimes it's not. It's just the platform sorting you to the bottom.
Yeah, it's your personal failure. You're no good. Now do you feel better?
Unless you pay a ton of money. And this created a dangerous dynamic that has now permeated the world of dating, one where women select the same group of the most attractive men who have almost exclusive access to women, who then become less interested in lots of these girls because they are then seen as too easy. The effect of this is that dating is seemingly a low-trust marketplace, as the entire way to attract is seemingly detachment and not through connection. It's always a contest of who cares the least, who can take the longest to message back, who's more aloof, disinterested, and who holds the power in the struggle to not care about the other. In other words, it's a game where almost everyone is bound to lose. You can now see it.
This is what we're involved in as adults, passing notes and trying not to show anyone, hey, I think you're cool. Let's go out. Yeah, that's how it used to be done. John thinks you're cute. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, let's go out. No, you gotta do this fun stuff.
It's in reality TV with game shows where heartbreak is entertainment. But what's the message we're supposed to get from this? Romance isn't sacred, it's just a contest, which all leads to the loneliness epidemic, and this one's hitting the youngest the hardest. But it's not just dating. Our whole modern society is stacked against any of us meeting someone getting married or even having children, and the consequences of this will change the world as we know it. Because there's something else catching up with us. Our bodies are starting to fail and lose the capacity to produce children at all. You know what they found recently? Microplastics in human testicles. Human testicles contain nearly 3 times as much plastic as dog testicles. We're literally marinating our reproductive organs in synthetic polymers. It's one of the many explanations as to why male sperm counts have dropped by more than 40% since 1970. Average sperm count could even hit near zero at the current trajectory. Even if a situation that extreme doesn't transpire,
This has been going on for a while. I have to go to the clinic because we're having trouble conceiving. Having trouble conceiving? You just stop the presses. How is this not a worldwide emergency? Like, okay, stop all this other nonsense and all this other things we're into. People are unable to have children without going to a clinic. People are unable to meet each other. There's billions of people in the world. We are unable to meet with them, and we are unable to procreate. I mean, are you serious? Are you really serious? This is what's going on. This is how we've progressed. This is what it's come down to. We can't meet each other. And we're unable, and when we finally do, it's a miracle. And then you can't have children because your balls are full of plastic. And we just march on with life, ordering takeout and dropping off your clothes at the dry cleaner that no one works at. Just waiting for robots to be created. Yeah, we're just waiting for the robots.
there are plenty of other things to worry about, like the forever chemicals in non-stick pans and waterproof jackets, BPA in your water bottles, all the nasty chemicals in your shampoo. I mean, just the list goes on. Even simple stuff like drinking hot coffee out of plastic takeaway cups.
Yeah, don't do that. I bring my glass if I'm gonna. I'm like the weirdo who brings his coffee glass with him if I'm gonna go out, or I request a ceramic. You're putting boiling stuff into plastic, and you're drinking that. It's not a solid. Plastic isn't a solid. Just because these companies say it's okay and it's not. No, that's how you got plastic in your balls. That's why you're not. I don't know if it's direct relation, but maybe some people are saying that it could be the plastic in your coffee cup that you're drinking every day, or the one you're popping into your machine at home could be contributing to this because it's plastic and you're heating it up. It's melting and you're drinking it, and it goes into your body.
We just live in a world now saturated with endocrine disruptors. And surprise, surprise, our endocrine systems are getting disrupted by all of this garbage we're pumping into our bodies daily. But even if you've somehow avoided the chemical assault, even if your fertility is fine, there's another huge problem vying against us. How many of your friends between the ages of 18 and 30 have kids? 1, 2, none until this year or last? Is anyone planning to have kids? How about those who said they don't even want kids? We just push everything later and later back. Education, work, financial stability, and for the middle classes especially, that pushes back having a family. Because you only have a family when it's really sensible to you, right? That's just the middle class value. Rich people don't worry, and poorer people don't worry. But nothing changes.
Yeah, you're tapped out with rent at the end of the month. Oh no, I'm gonna have a kid. Yeah, it becomes a conundrum, really.
Changes our biological clock when it comes to fertility. Women over 35 are considered advanced maternal age, and honestly 35 is starting to look young to have kids for millions of people around the world. However, at 35, miscarriage rates nearly double. The chance of chromosomal abnormalities skyrockets. Down syndrome risk goes from something like 1 in 1,250 at 25 to 1 in 100 at 40. And it's not just mothers, older fathers contribute too. Men over 45 show increased risk for autism, schizophrenia, even stillbirth.
All right. This is some rough stuff. I mean, oh man, I'm not going to make, hey, I'm going to leave the link down in the comments and you can check out the rest of the video. There's some astute stuff in the rest of the video. So take a break, throw some cold water on your face and then check it out. I will really have to figure something out here. Let's hear what people have to say. Oh my gosh. It's like everything in this world is designed for us not to start a family. Yeah, and it can feel like that. People aren't just putting off kids. It's hard to even find a partner. The biggest problem is that today you can't really talk to strangers since it can result in a lawsuit or an HR meeting. It's a minefield at work. There's so much plastic in my junk, my wife gave birth to a lunchbox. Online job sites have similar problems as dating sites. I used to laugh at people for saying it, but I'm starting to think the internet needs shutting down. Could you imagine that? Shutting it down? You were shutting down for a remodel. Social media has made expectations unrealistic. Yes, we all know silky smooth. Conclusion, turning nations into plantations lead to civilization collapse. I felt like it was too late once I hit 30. I'm 35 now. Most of my friends have multiple kids before 30. They're also mostly all divorced and have to deal with all that BS. That's another thing. Well, that's a whole other video, right? The ones who sell the panic and also sell the cure. Yeah, it's true, Christina. I've just discussing this with my friends. Social media is a disease. The world has lost its magic and we all feel it. Well, that wasn't a very uplifting subject, but I think it's something that's really important that we're all going through. I don't have a solution. In the comments, I'd love to hear what you have to say and what you think a solution is. Is there a realistic solution, or are we just going straight ahead into Lonelyville and everyone has to ride this bus? Is that what it's come down to? Sometimes I think there'll be a big retro movement and different fractions of society will split off and start more cultures like the Amish culture or things like that, where maybe electronics aren't so much a part of their lives, and maybe there'll be communities that are going to buy up swaths of land and join our community, and we're going to live this way. That's just a guess. The human experience feels like it's been diminished considerably in the last 10 years. If people can't even meet each other, that's a rough one. We have to be able to meet. We have to be able to talk without it being so contentious. In the meantime, give each other a chance. Don't be so judging. Approach people and be super polite. Be friendly. And if they're busy and they're not accepting of your friendliness, it's okay. You have a great day and move on. Be kind to the people you're dating. Understand that they're going through the same thing you're going through. And they feel alone, and they're getting a lot of propaganda, and they're being pushed to feel a certain way. Try to be as understanding as you can and not let that affect who you are. Try to keep being yourself no matter what, even when faced with this kind of pressure to be contentious, to be overtly political with your thoughts and ideas and have things kind of blow up. People have become so used to doing that. Things used to be a little more polite and a little more reserved. And I think that helped us get along with each other. We're humans. We're strong. We can do a lot of stuff. And I think we can turn this around somehow. Like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody in the next video.